start by telling us like about you and your family and like how you ended up at New Summit?
Sure. Hi, my name is Brooke Bachman, and my husband Anthony and I have three kiddos, and two of them are in New Summit currently. Our oldest is a seventh grader, so he's in middle school, and our middle is a fourth grader, and we have a 22-month-old.
Love
So
it.
we started at New Summit back when they were doing town hall meetings before the school was a school. Loved everything that we heard in that initial meeting, and we've been hooked ever since. Since then, I've really enjoyed volunteering with the school, helping with the gala fundraiser, just supporting in any way that I can. And my husband has been serving on the school board since the doors opened.
Um, and what were you doing prior to New Summit?
So we were a homeschooling family at that time. We've done a little bit of everything over the course of the kids' education years. We've done public school, we've done enrichment programs, and we've done homeschooling. And now New Summit is our charter school that we have been blessed to come across. And I would say that that has been the best fit for our family at this time in our life.
Awesome. So how is e-learning going, and how would you say that compares to traditional homeschooling?
Well, being a past homeschooling mom, I am so thankful, so thankful for everything that the school and the teachers have done so far, because I look at myself as the facilitator, as the parent right now. I'm able to go on their Chromebooks, check emails, making sure I'm scheduling Zooms correctly on our family calendar and things like that. And so I'm really grateful for that, because putting together curriculum and the actual schedule of your day, it's very time consuming. It's a lot of work, and you have to put a lot of thought into it. And it's a lot of trial and error is what I found as a homeschooling mom. So, but our past experience homeschooling really helped us kind of I guess, transition into e-schooling. So when talks were starting to happen that we were living in this unprecedented time, and this new thing called e-learning was probably going to take over our lives, it was actually a pretty quick family discussion, because we knew there was going to be a lot of similarities to our homeschooling years. But as a mom, I was actually really relieved that I didn't have to create a single thing. And that has actually been our experience, because now we're into our third week of e-schooling, and it's pretty much happened that way for us. That I'm a facilitator, not that I'm not important to be in that role, and not that it isn't a little stressful at some times, but I'm just really grateful that the school has been able to put together an actual e-learning curriculum for our children, so we haven't had to be true homeschooling parents right now.
Right. Can you tell me a little bit more about like your experience with the teachers and how your kids are doing and all of that?
Yeah, absolutely. I just have been so encouraged and pleasantly surprised at how the school has implemented everything. One of the things about the school in general that really attracted Anthony and I to enrolling our children here was that, yes, academics are important, but they really focus on educating the whole child, teaching the whole child. All of those aspects are important: the social, emotional, the relationships, feeling successful, really developing that love of learning. And I've seen that carry through with, like, oh my gosh, I'm blown away at how that's carried through into e-learning. Because yes, we have our curriculum and we have to submit this on Schoology and this and that, and those things are important. But I appreciate that they took it a step further, that both of my children have access to classroom meetings, so they get to see their friends and their peers and their teachers. they've had Facebook videos with Mr. Nico and Grammy's staff. That just really brightened their day to be able to see those familiar faces. And the coffee with the principal, to be able to get on, this Zoom, because they see us doing it in other facets of our lives. And so now they get to be included in that and see the principal and see the assistant principal and say hi, and then to see other parents, because it's important. That's their community. So they're really having that opportunity to keep those connections. And that to me as a mom is really important, because I can only do so much every day. I'm not their friend, I'm not their teachers. So the fact that they have those outlets to be able to continue on in those relationships has really been good for their social emotional well-being. And I'm so grateful for that as a mom.
I love hearing that. Can you maybe share one thing that you've learned in all of this, or maybe something that your kids have learned during this time?
Well, on the home front, we've all learned a whole new level of patience.
Yeah.
We're in each other's spaces a lot, and I'm not too tech savvy. Anybody who knows me, it's really not one of my giftings, and I don't really have a desire to learn it. So now I'm put in a position where I really have to. And it's been humbling, because my middle schooler has taught me a lot about Chromebooks, especially. I didn't know they weren't like a traditional laptop, and there's different workings for them. So that was really helpful. He's had that opportunity to teach his sister, the fourth grader, on how to use that. So we've all been able to embrace these different roles and learning opportunities. And I knew this before going in, that our administration and teaching staff is really special. It's a really special community of professionals. But to be able to experience them in this e-learning format, I just have the utmost respect for them. And I'm so grateful that they continue not only to provide quality education for our students, but to just love our kids the way that they have. I mean, there's been things for each of our students that I know that those teachers didn't have to do, or I know that they went above and beyond, probably stayed up till midnight working on something. And it matters. It mattered to my students, and I'm just really grateful that they still value that even under the current circumstances outside of that traditional classroom.
Do you have maybe a tip for other parents at New Summit, or I don't know, encouragement of some kind?
Well, sure, I do. Encouragement that I gave myself, actually, from my homeschooling days now into e-schooling. I thought it was really sweet that everyone in preparation for this was posting on Facebook and things like that. Like, look at our schedule that we have, and look at our classrooms, and it's all great, and it's good to prepare for things, because I did that in my homeschooling days, and I just really kind of crashed and burned, to be honest. Our schedule became unrealistic very quickly, because you're also doing real life in the confines of this homeschool environment. So I waited purposely until about halfway through the second week of e-learning to create this schedule, because schedules are important and they're very helpful, especially when you have lots of moving parts. And it gives children the sense of independence and success, that they can kind of complete and tick things off their own list. So we did create kind of a schedule from 9:30 or from 9 to 12:30. Here's the list of things that you need to do, and check them off. I even said do them in whatever order that you want to do them in, but they just need to get done before lunchtime. And then in the afternoon, this is what needs to be done, and here's our end time for the day, because that kind of helps me and Anthony to feel like we have an end to their school day as well. Now that looks different for many people. I mean, all of our lives look so different right now. We have different age groups of children. Some of us are working parents that are now in the home, and I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I'm very thankful for that job right now. It still has taken a different flavor for me, but everyone just has a lot of different moving parts. The situation that we're all living under is unique at best, and you just have to do the best you can with what you have. And I'm just honored as a parent to be in this specific school community through this time, because anybody who I've talked to, other parents, teachers, admin, everyone is so full of grace, so encouraging, and we're all just looking out for each other. And that, again, is what attracted us to coming into New Summit 2 years ago. And I'm just thankful that under this circumstance, it continues to carry through. And just kind of a side note, talking with a couple of other friends that have their students in New Summit as well, you know, a big concern that even not New Summit parents have, but other in general, any parent has right now with school age children, you know, what is next year going to look like? Are our kids going to be at a deficit because they aren't getting all of this academic time in? And I have encouragement for that I'm actually, well, personally reminded of. To share a little bit of mine and Anthony's story, it was just over 2 years ago that we were just getting going in our homeschool year. We had an 8 and a 10-year-old at the time. And so they were in first and fifth grade at the time. And after we had just gotten going, getting our groove, we actually found out we were expecting unexpectedly, which is a huge, huge blessing. And once we got over the shock, we were excited. But pregnancy has never really agreed with me. And so quickly I found myself on bed rest once again. Well, when you're not only the stay-at-home parent, but you're a homeschooling parent, I was very stressed out. Like, what are they going to look like for next year? You know, because now we decided it just wasn't my passion to be a stay-at-home mom to a newborn and to be homeschooling. So I just knew that homeschooling was no longer going to be a fit for our family of soon to be 5. And so that was when we had heard about New Summit. We went to the town hall meeting, and I was very excited and encouraged to find this amazing school for my kids. But in that same moment, I felt an extreme amount of guilt and pressure and anxiety, because I'm like, I don't feel like my kids are ready. They're not going to be at the same caliber that all of these other students are going in to be a 2nd grader and a 6th grader.
Right.
And so I was very open with that about to some of the staff that I knew that were going to be working with our students, and with Kim and Jen as well. Through those town hall meetings, we had a lot of time to be able to talk to admin. And I just was extremely concerned. And every single time I kind of brought up that anxiety in those conversations, they instantly were so calm. They were encouraging and they reassuring. And they're like, we've got this. Send your kids. They're going to be okay. Continue doing what you're doing. Do the best you can with what you have. We've got this. And I had such a sense of relief and trust. And so my encouragement to especially New Summit families right now that are feeling all of those things, which they're real. I mean, we've never had to go through this before. But my encouragement would be, because we were here 2 years ago in a different capacity, our family was, and they had it. They really, truly had it. And my kids not only did well their first year at New Summit, but they both thrived. They were met where they were at with their skill levels, and the teachers embraced it, the admin embraced it, and my kids felt, not only did their test scores come in just fine and even excelled in some areas, but they felt in their hearts the biggest sense of success and encouragement and value. And that, to me as a mom, is all that matters.
Absolutely. Is there anything else that you wanted to end with? That was the end of my question.
I think that was really it. I just am so honored that you guys let me take the time to kind of share our story and to be an encouragement. I miss all the families
I
um,
know.
at New Summit and getting to run into people and, um, you know, so yeah, missing the community right now, but
Mm.
really focusing on our family and just enjoying this bonus time that we have with each other, even though it gets a little bit much sometimes, but
Yep.
enjoying that time as a family and just making the most of it.
Awesome. Well, thanks for doing this.
Yeah, this was fun.